My name's Andrew Stotts, and I just went through my bookshelf of my books on strategy. And here they are. These are the books that I've read over the years to try to help myself and improve my knowledge of strategy. Now, I've ranked them in order of significance and also of the way other people see these books too. If you're going to start, I would start at the top of this list of books, and that's the book Understanding Michael Porter, The Essential Guide to Competition and Strategy. Now, Porter also comes in down here at Competitive Strategy, and in fact this one's I got it so long ago that it's actually got some infestation here, which you can occasionally get on books, particularly if you're in humid climates. Another one that was powerful was the Blue Ocean Strategy. For me, that really helped me think about the value of marketing and finding your niche and making sure that you excel in that niche. This one, The Discipline of Market Leaders, boy, that's an old one. In fact, let's look at that. You can see already that it's pretty old and the pages are a bit yellow. And that one came out in about, let's see, when was that? 1996 when I read that. So that was a while ago, and I just love the idea of that discipline of market leaders to understand the way market leaders behave. Now, if we go down the list, we can see a few more, but I want to highlight one that's at the bottom. It's at the bottom because there's not that many ratings on, for instance, Amazon and other places. But this book was a pretty powerful book for me, and it's called How to Win on the Battlefield. And it outlined many different strategies, the key different strategies that are out there, and helped me understand, you know, the general categories of strategy. And they told it in historical stories about battles, which to me is exciting because actually that whole area right over there is all U.S. Civil War and war strategy, which I enjoy very much. Now I'm going to highlight one last book on this, and this is this one right here. And let me just move these. Whoa. I'm going to move those right there. This one is called Civil War Generalship. And because I'm a Civil War buff and I'm just a history buff, I love to read the stories and read strategy from the stories. This is a great book, and this book really helped. It basically shows three battles: this general against this general, this general against this general, this general against this general. And what were the strengths and weaknesses? How did they prepare for the battle? And a great example is this one right here, where you have Nathaniel Banks, who was representing the Union Army, the North in America, and then you had Stonewall Jackson on the South. Banks was what was called a political general, where he didn't have as much generalship experience, but Stonewall Jackson was an experienced general and spent his whole life studying generalship and military. And basically, Banks broke through Stonewall Jackson's line. But he made a fatal mistake. He didn't have reserves to back up and reinforce the gains that he made. And I learned a lot from that about business, is that you don't want to move an attack, particularly an enemy's strength, without having all the reserves in place to follow up your initial victories. And of course, Stonewall Jackson, one of the leading generals from the South, basically knew that Banks was a political general and knew that he probably wouldn't have had all of the reinforcements and reserves coming in. And so as his men were retreating and running away, Banks got up on his horse and he pulled out his sword and he started whacking his guys with the flat part of his sword and telling him, turn around, telling all his men, turn around, as he was on his horse. And he eventually got the mass of men turned around, and he said, follow me into the battle. And as he did that, he led his men to have a counterattack, and he ended up causing Banks to retreat because Banks ran out of supplies and ran out of energy. And the end result was that Stonewall Jackson chased Banks for miles and miles until it became dark, and then they gave up on that battle. So this one is a very great one for me for learning about it. So here you have a list of books that have influenced my thinking on strategy, and All you have to do is, I've included links in the video here, so you can click on those links and you can find them on Amazon and read them yourself. I found them fantastic, and I hope you do too. Have a great day.